your allegiance.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If you would please remain standing as we remember those that have passed. In particular, Dr. Perry, Helen McEntee, Johnny Stokes, and Chief John Wood. Thank you. I'd like to welcome everyone for coming out tonight. Thank you so much. It was fantastic weather. Very surprised. We have a great turnout. The last time we had a poor weather, not so much. We do have several special guests. Before we go into public comment, I would like to introduce Jim Fox. Come on up, Jim. For those that don't know, and actually Tom Osa, I'm going to introduce at the same time because Tom is the head of the Chamber of Commerce for the town of Highlands, and Tom doesn't even live here. And he has been maintaining this chamber for several years now to try and bring it back to where we used to have it. And Jim is one of the few people, when they've had the 3-person meetings, that's always there. Jim is one of our representatives from West Point and is very active with the community in keeping better communications.
I like to think of myself as sort of liaison with Pat and with Tom to try to inform. I'm the community relations guy at the academy, so I try to let them know. We were just talking earlier today about what you guys will need for your Memorial Day parade. We'll work that out later. 4th of July type things. But then also things like every year outside the visitor center where most of the folks in my part of public affairs work, we have a map that we update every year, and we did this in December, and we have, sort of as a placeholder, if you will, all the businesses in the village and in the town, in Fort Montgomery and Highland Falls, just so when all the visitors come to West Point, they can see what there is available. So if it's a brick and mortar, I guess, pretty much, if there's a place they can
Right.
actually go, whether it's a restaurant or a doctor's office or a chiropractor. Not that many visitors probably come from China to go to the chiropractor here, but just in case. We have that there, at least as something now. And if anyone has any questions about West Point, I'll try to answer them or point you in the right direction. I don't know, I like to think of myself as I don't know all the answers, but I know people who do.
And that actually is a perfect representation, because Jim is the one to hook you up with who you need on West Point that assists and, without question, has been bringing better relations to the two communities. Just only because you mentioned it, I would also like to mention, Jim has brought about with some other people, for those businesses that don't know, there is a stand over in the visitor center that you can put your flyers. You can't just put them there. You have to bring them to the desk. They have to be approved, but they will put them right in the flyer or right in the stand that's right in the entranceway to the visitor center. So all the people that are coming through, if they're looking for someplace to eat, right now there's only 2 restaurants. I believe it's Tony's and Maria Bonita's that has information there. And I think only one other business. But that again is because we have to constantly, and people don't understand that, it's like, whoa, well, we offer that, it's been there a year and a half. Constantly remind people that it's there, please take advantage of it. So to any and all of the businesses, and particularly brick and mortar, restaurants and souvenir and things like that, that put your information over there, because one flyer could end you, another 20, 30 customers, depending on which buses come in. So, Jim, thank you so much. Did you want to introduce anybody? You said you, or just Tommy?
They're Tom's folks, actually.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah, if you have a brochure of some sort, it can't be like a business card or something, if you have some sort of flyer, business card, we sort of have a tourism section that's inside, and those are where you'll see things from all the counties up and down the Hudson, Dutchess, Orange County Tourism, things like that. And then we have a business one in the foyer, which is for pretty much everything else,
Exactly.
okay?
Perfect.
So I'm here if anybody has any questions. Ma'am?
What is the status of the visitor center? Is it going to be raised and a new one built?
The previous superintendent had made that a priority to raise funds for a new visitor center, and they don't quite have enough money. It's still one of the things on AOG's campaign plan, but I don't know if it's as high a priority as it in this administration as it was in the previous one. So it's still one of the many things that could happen here. But the cadet barracks is happening, believe me. I'm right next to all the explosions every afternoon as they try to blast all the rock out of underneath the chapel. But it's still in the works. I don't think if they had all the money for it, then maybe they'd go forward. But I know that the dates they gave me 3 years ago, if we believe those dates, we would have had a grand opening already. That hasn't happened yet. Okay?
Hi.
Yes,
I'd like
ma'am.
The business people in town,
Mhm.
can they go on West Point delivering food?
Yes, ma'am. There's a process that they're trying to streamline through the Garrison Commander's Office to allow that. It's basically just getting the drivers who are delivering that food on an access list so that they know that it's Jim Fox with his car with those license plates, and that, yes, he is who he says he is, and he works for West Point Pizza or whatever the case may be. Okay,
Thank
so
you.
they've streamlined that process.
That was one of Colonel Rideout's first things when we met. And it's great because both General Katzen and Colonel Rideout every now and then get the look of, I don't understand why, they see a lot of hurdles that are in place for no reason. And both of them have been looking to remove as many as possible, and they're doing a good job. And some are small, some are big, and I see it, and I do appreciate the work.
So like we had a community relations meeting a couple weeks ago. That was one of the things that the Garrison Commander, Colonel Rideout, talked about, is trying to open more West Point facilities to the people in the local community, and that's everybody in the town of Highlands. That's not just West Point.
And on that, the last thing, and I won't keep going, they just changed the status of the ski slope. It used to only be open on Fridays to the community and outside community. Now it's open every day to the community. So you don't need you can get a season pass, but you don't need one. If you didn't have a season pass, you're only able to go there on Fridays this year. But they've already changed that. So for the rest of the season, we have a lot of good snow now. Any day, residents can go use the slopes.
And I think it's, the last I saw, I think it was Monday through Friday, 9 to 3, instead of just Friday.
Correct, Monday through Friday, I'm sorry, good
Okay.
call.
So,
And does that also include snow emergency days? Like if it's snowing, you can't go skiing, is what I understand.
that's a good
If they're
question.
closed.
They may close. There have been times when, if there's a code red at West Point where like there were Thursday and Friday, that they may not be open, as counterintuitive as that may be.
But with the snow we have now, you don't need the slopes, my friend, you just a little cross country right across the village.
Not now.
We're good. Exactly. Thank you so much, Jim.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Tom?
Yeah, I'll be quick. I know there's a lot of other business. My name is Tom Oser. I'm the head of the Highlands Chamber of Commerce. I am from Rockland County, not from Highland Falls or Fort Montgomery. It was one of those things where I showed up at a meeting and they were like, anybody want to be president? So I was like, sure. But I do have a lot of experience with chambers. I'm the head of the North Rockland Business Alliance, the Chamber of Commerce down in there. We have a couple of different networking groups all over Rockland and Orange County. So I'm hoping to bring that same vibe up here. Our main focus is events, try and put more entertaining and interesting things in the area so that everybody can participate in the activities. And also when the many people come to visit West Point for the football games and the other festivities, that the businesses in town have the ability to communicate with those people via incentives, coupons, deals, banners, pretty much anything to get their attention so that they can be not just in West Point, but also in the Highland Falls area, possibly Fort Montgomery. And a couple of people were kind enough to come to the meeting along with me tonight, so I just wanted to introduce them. So the Greater Hudson Valley Family Health Center. All right, you want to say a few words?
Hi, my name is Kristen Freeman. This is Kate Venable. I'm from the Family Health Center. We have a location down on Main Street going towards Fort Montgomery, and we just opened back in April of last year. I'll keep it short since we have more to talk about. But we're a family medicine practice. We have locations in Newburgh and New Windsor as well. We have 2 providers, Dr. Rocco Russo and a family nurse practitioner, Kareem Thomas. So we offer services from anything from pediatrics to geriatrics medicine, and we also offer women's health services. We're open Monday through Friday and then once a month on Saturdays. So if you have any other questions, and I'll leave brochures also back by the agenda. Do you have
Any questions?
Yeah. Is it possible to bring in a social worker or a psychologist? Because we have parents here with young children, and it's kind of tough to get services outside. Is that a possibility in the future?
We have behavioral health services in Newburgh. I'm not sure if that's something that we could bring to Highland Falls, but we also are looking into bringing care coordinators.
Okay.
So it's definitely on our radar, but I can look into that.
Thank you.
We have actually talked to the Greater Health Center about possibly, because they're, like say, they're only doing one Saturday a month. We've actually talked about bringing their Newburgh people down periodically, whether it's once a month, once every other. That way there at least is a scheduled time where people who can't get over the mountain. And I do have to tell you, very few groups that I've worked with that are so open to, oh, you need that? Okay, we'll make that happen by Tuesday. Oh, that needs to happen? We'll put that in place. They, this group has worked with this community so well. If you haven't had a chance, they've had several tours of their facility, so you know what's there. Please, you don't need to make an appointment. They're very open. They're always willing to have everyone come down. They have a fantastic facility. It's in between the funeral home and Satterley. For those that don't know, right on the main drag. Take a look at it because they have a lot more to offer than you think. That's one of the problems with this community, is that people don't understand what's already here and offered because they're not looking. Between Highland Falls, Fort Montgomery, Bear Mountain, and West Point, we have so much more going on than people know. We just are, that's gonna be one of our jobs, is to keep making sure people are informed. When they say, well, you know, I have to go down to Rockland because I need to get a good pediatric doctor. They're here. You know, that's, so please, take your time. You only do it when you're sick. Try to do it when you're not. Try to do it when you're healthy. Go down, take 5 minutes, and meet the people at the Greater Health Center. It's a really nice place. Thank you guys so much.
Thanks. Can I have one more?
Please.
Dr. Seibert?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Dr. Keith Seibert. I love to see smiles. I'm the chiropractor right down the street. I practiced in Ohio for 30 years, and my daughter married Dr. Newberg, the dentist in Newburgh, and Dr. Wagner, the dentist in Newburgh. And so we were coming out here and visiting and fell in love with the area, just absolutely loved it. And I was practicing in Cornwall for about a year, and a lot of people came up over the mountain to Cornwall to get adjusted. And I left the office there and I said, well, you know, Highland Falls is just gorgeous, and I'd love to come here and practice, so I'm right down the road. Right beside,
We're next to the Highland Falls Market.
right beside, between that and
okay.
the Navy credit,
Dedicated service.
And with respect and with apologies, there's enough Boy Scout in me to tell you that this flag is in the wrong place. It needs to be on the speaker's right, in the place of honor.
Sold. Thank you, sir.
It could even either be behind you or in front of you. But you know,
Thank you.
pledge allegiance to the flag of the speaker's left.
Done.
So, questions?
You have a card with it?
I've got cards and
Good.
brochures, I'll leave them here.
Good.
And that's something that Tom has been pushing for a long time and that we want to see happen, is that the Greater Health Center Dr.
Seibert.
Seibert, and any and all businesses, we're gonna have an area for you in the village hall for cards, brochures, the whole nine. Because if you can't figure out where to go, at the very least, you can come here and figure it out.
Sure.
Now, also, don't forget, for those people that may wanna review, if whether you saw it here, you heard about it, it was at the village board meeting, you can always go to our website and review these meetings and get the information you need, because I missed it and it wasn't covered here. Okay, so please, and that information also is available in the village hall. But we'll have cards of any businesses that want to participate, because that is a huge thing for us to, that's a need right now in our community, is to revitalize our business area. And I thank you for joining us, because that's a great addition to Main Street and a great addition to the community.
And Keith also is joining the community in other ways by joining Rotary.
Excellent.
I get voted on this week. I'm
It's in the air.
really not too worried about it. But I'm there every day, and I just love chiropractic, and we're doing it.
It's tight.
Thank you.
Fantastic, thank you so much.
And last thing I just wanted to mention is for other businesses that are part of the chamber, there's a directory at highlandschamberofcommerce.com. So if you need any different services, it is available on there. And if you know any startup businesses that are looking to get a little bit more involved in the business community, please have them come visit a chamber meeting. It's the third Tuesday of every month. Thanks for your time. Thanks for having me here, Pat.
Tom, thank you. That's Tom, I'm gonna put as one of the unsung heroes, because he'll be at meetings with 2 and 3 people, the same 2 and 3 people from the last 3 or 4 months, and still won't be like, look, same of us, let's just go home. He'll spend that half hour, 45 minutes, hour plus. What can we do? What can we do to improve this business community? Very dedicated. Please, I know that a lot of businesses have been burned in the past. Whether it's, I don't have the time, I went 2 or 3 times, I wasn't impressed, I don't think I can get anything out of it. Tom is bringing a lot of new areas of growth that we can benefit by, but only if we participate. And that also goes, we are gonna be working with the chamber on the Main Street revitalization, on the business aspect, and it's not gonna work if the businesses don't participate. So please, even if you can't come to the meeting, contact Tom. If you need to contact him through the village, you can. Contact Tom Osa, he will get you on the list, whether it's on the emails, whether, you don't have to. We know there are several businesses out there that you're in at 4 in the morning, you finish at midnight, you go home and you sleep. We know that. You can't be there at a regular meeting all the time. But you can be informed, and you can inform the chamber of what's going on. And you can profit by being involved in the chamber. So please, contact Tom, and together we can make the business community come back the way it needs to be. Thanks, Tom. Okay, public comment on agenda items. Any public comments on agenda items? Okay, reports. Wastewater.
No, can't find it.
That's awesome. I'm gonna do the treasurer, real quick. Treasurer's report and board discussion. Monthly financial updates, revenue expense control reports, 2012, 2013 annual audit has been received. Pay particular attention to the management notes. Okay, this is the audit, nice and thick. Village capital project update, the 2013 bond proceeds are now available to pay off the remainder of TAM invoices. And the 2014-2015 initial budget meeting is scheduled for tomorrow, Wednesday, the 19th. No questions are being taken, because I can't answer. Wastewater.
Average volume of wastewater treated for the month was 0.9 million gallons a day. We had 3.5 inches of precipitation. Facility meets with all New York State DEC speeding permits. 64 cubic feet of grit screens removed from disposal by TAM Enterprises. Chief Operator John Jones met with Village Trustee Mellon about concerning the automatic grit removal system. Repair and maintenance, digester, furnace, and control maintenance, building furnace. Packard performed annual cleaning and service. The furnaces replaced faulty circulator on the C&M building furnace. Chlorination system replaced sections of frozen broken PVC effluent chlorination piping. Maintenance and lubrication of pumps, motors, and machinery are required. Maintenance of buildings and grounds also, buildings and grounds as time allows, 26 days. Man hours lost due to sick, vacation, personal leave, compensation time, 12 days. Overtime work for the month, scheduled 42, emergency 5, snow 3, gas consumption for department trucks, equipment, 99.5 gallons.
Thank you.
Building.
Well, I guess we got 3 proposals for the boarding up of the Center Street property. I guess I have to make a motion on accept the lowest bid so we can get that process rolling.
We can do that during the business.
Okay. Okay, then that's all that I have in that aspect.
Sweet, Georgia. Fire?
Fire, there is a fairly substantial memo in the board members' boxes. Since Mr. Brown is not here this evening, we will table that to give him time to read it. It essentially is a budget adjustment that the fire company has requested. That's it.
Okay, Mayor report. We are on schedule right now for our goal of June, July for DPW consolidation. Right now, this month, we're putting together the numbers, all the facts, and I will meet with Bob Livesey of the town to push forward on what the town is looking for and what they want out of the DPW consolidation. June was our target because that's when the grants are available to help us fund the actual consolidation. For example, if eligible, we can apply for the grant and obtain a grant so that we can build a new DPW building that would house all of the trucks as well as equipment, new offices, the whole 9. This is what the state's offering for consolidation. We also were approached by a landowner that is looking to sell in a very excellent spot to help with consolidation of the 2 DPW. So things are looking good for that. We also obviously have the main consolidation in on the agenda, but DPW is priority, and that's what we're really working on right now. I do have to give a very big thank you to Kevin Hurst and the crews that were out over the last week through 3.5 storms back to back to back. It wasn't just about clearing the roads. Then it wasn't just the DPW. Kevin pulled together the DPW, members of the sewer department, members of the water department, members of the town DPW, and contractors that we pulled in because of the amount of snow that we got, which, according to, for those who watch the news, all news reports, we haven't seen this kind of snow for approximately 25 years. So there were several adjustments that were made by Kevin and his people that I was ecstatic to see. I would like to thank the school for allowing us to put some snow on the back end. There was some concern because 15 years ago or so, when there was a large pile, much larger than what we were planning on putting this year, there was some flooding when it melted towards the spring area. But again, Kevin and his crew took note of that and made adjustments and put the snow in a much better area, a much better amount of snow. Just these adjustments and whatnot helped us out greatly, saving us a lot of money. So I would like to thank you. Kevin's in the back right now. I actually, you keep saying you're gonna be here and you never show up, so I didn't bring your award here. We actually have a certificate for you, not for the snow, but for those that remember the issue with the Perry truck on Tobin's, that the accident where it hit the building. It opened up a gas service that was leaking into the street. Kevin was conscientious enough to know just to take a simple dowel, go over to it and plug it to stop the gas from leaking throughout the entire Main Street with a possible catastrophic event. And so we do have a certificate for your quick thinking and basically not caring on what's going on as far as you're just approaching that area wasn't safe to begin with. And we appreciate your efforts there with the snow and with all you do. Thank you so much, Kevin. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Kevin.
While I have you mentioned, I know it's right in the middle of my report, did you want to say anything about the snow or anything, or?
First of all, I thank the board for their support and everything, local businesses, the police department, the fire department. Everybody came together, we had a game plan, everybody worked. A few glitches, but the main goal is people can just thank our men when they're out there. A simple thank you goes a long way with you guys. They've been taking a beating. We had the ice, the snow, we had a water main break on top of it at the same time. Equipment breaking down, putting it back together, but everybody hung in there through the whole game. Everybody's tired. Local businesses, restaurants, we're offering food for the guys. Just a simple thank you. People can just say thank you. That means a lot to the guys. And I pass it on to them every day, but it's a team effort here in the village and it shows every time. When it hits the fan, everybody comes out and helps. The local contractors came in. You understand the village fiscal responsibility, the money management, they put that aside. We're here to help. The town helped, everybody. Just want to say thank you for everybody for your support. We got through it, so now it's just a cleanup. Just bear with us on the streets, park wisely and everything. We're gonna start opening catch basins tomorrow, and getting them all marked, so it starts melting, we'll be out there. Thank you.
Thanks, Ed.
And for those that did not get, that still have sidewalks that are full, the removal's not over. For those that have witnessed the removal itself, a block with a crew and a half on it, 2 to 3 people, takes a good 3 hours, 3+ hours to clear, just one block. So on, say, West Street, where you have 4 or 5 blocks, it takes almost a day to a day and a half just to clear that street. There was that much snow on the ground. They're doing a great job. We did have some questions. The first main snowfall with the school, they contacted us immediately. Kevin's crew responded, and we've kept on top of that. We are going to be meeting with the school on 2 major issues. One is the intermunicipal agreement that we were going to try to make with the school, so that not just the village and the town, but the village and the town and the school, all crews, can work together depending on who needs what. If the school needs us, we'll be there for them. If we need the school crew, 9 times out of 10, they're not working when our people are still doing snow removal. They're done, they're finished their area. But that doesn't mean, now we have 5, 6 people that could easily assist us on a much more economic, beneficial way to the community. We are also still meeting with them on the parking on Fickens. Very positive feedback on that. I think that's going to be something we might be able to even see come the spring, which will alleviate a lot of issues around Roe Park during activities. So I was very happy with that, and I'm very happy that the school is open to the communication and looking forward to making progress. Myself, our treasurer, our judges, and several other members went down to the New York State Association of Towns meeting this weekend. There was several days, some went for a day, some went for several days, classes, also just to meet and talk with the other representatives throughout the state, but with our area. I had a couple different sit-downs with Steve Newhouse, as well as several other people from the county to talk about how the county could get more involved in our community. So I'll be setting up individual meetings with them at their offices within the next couple weeks. Very excited for that. They're very ready to work with our community, which is great. We just received a grant application for Main Street revitalization, which is fantastic. This is a great timely issue. Whether this, I'll talk to you about it. Yeah, it's kind of, unfortunately, it's due in March, because that's the beautiful thing. They'll give it to you. You can do it in 2 weeks. Have a good time. But having this information of what they're looking for allows us to build a template so that whether this will be an annual thing, it's going to be much easier for us to apply for it, as well as other grants similar to it. And that's what we're doing right now. I'm working with Charlie Murphy to build grant templates so that you're not redoing a grant every time when half of the grants, 70% of the information is the same. It's just 30%, and that's not all grants, but a majority of the grants, a lot of the information is just sitting there and you're rewriting it. So now instead of doing 5 grants, we might be able to get 8 to 10 out. And that's our goal, is more grants. But this was nice, it came in today. We're gonna be looking into that. And we did get a report back from Jimmy Titolo on the senior center. The numbers came in real high. But we're gonna take it in steps. We're gonna take it in steps. I would like to thank Fran Galou. She has approached us and taken charge of trying to raise money, and we're also going out and possibly getting support from different businesses for specific items. Bob is working on the floor right now, and Fran's very excited to go out and help him, and Anthony and Charlie working with starting there, drop ceiling, a few other things, a few major items, so that we can open the doors. The goal is to get the doors open as soon as possible, and then, we'll close down for a day for painting, wait a little, as the money comes, as it gets there, as the volunteers are available, we'll close down for a half day and we'll do this renovation or that renovation. But our goal is to get the doors open as soon as possible. So after we got the report from Jimmy Titolo, Bob Mellon has moved quickly to figure out what we can do first. And that's where we are right now. We have been in contact with the county because they are looking to see where we are at as well. And one of the things we are going to do is reapply for that money for the senior center. The money that we were able to get for the senior center to buy it is now available for us you had to wait 2 years or every other year. And so now we're coming around again to it. So we're going to look to possibly apply for another large chunk to actually make the senior center the way it should be.
Can I say something on that?
I don't see why not.
You should put in for a grant for Home Depot or Lowe's. There was one on TV where they stepped in for the senior citizens, Home Depot, and did the entire place over.
And that's what Fran Galou has said that she's going to help us with, which is fantastic.
Yeah, she's chasing money, John.
Hard.
Yeah, she's pretty thorough, and what we're trying to do is attach some sort of dollar figure to the work that we need for a Plan B, because A was $250. And once we come up with a dollar figure for the drop and the lighting and the insulation of the ceiling and volunteers and a rug, and just enough to get the door open and heated and make it safe, we'll have a better handle on who we approach for what and filling out grant papers.
One thing you have to make sure before you open, the bathroom's done over handicap.
Yes,
Right,
ma'am.
that's on the
That
list.
was
One of the-
ADA compliance, and
Yes.
one of the bathrooms was on our list, yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. New business. I need a motion to approve the minutes as written, regular meeting February 3rd, 2014.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No, that's different. Did you bring up 109 Center? Is that you?
Oh, no, not yet.
Okay. I need a motion to approve the low quote property maintenance for 109 Center Street at $700.
Valdini,
McCarthy Carpentry, and that would be Bob. Thank you. Second by Anthony. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I need to approve a low quote for the wastewater treatment plant of roof replacement. Boss Construction for $16,500.
I make that motion.
Do I have a second?
It's, that's,
Yes.
I was
Yeah.
impressed with that number. It was a big, I didn't think we could come in and all the specifications were written there and they all comply with the specifications. I don't know Boss Construction, but,
They're actually the one that worked on 3 of the roofs
then.
for the project.
Then you know something, the number is very good, so I recommend it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I need a motion to approve the revised standard workday resolutions. Okay, I need 2 motions, one for each resolution. And get to that real quick. Are they written down? Do you have them? Is that this? Yeah. Okay. I have 2 resolutions. Okay, one is for 09 to 2013.
What is this for?
This is for the standard workday and reporting resolution. Basically, everything was done for this as it needed to be, but as it was agreed upon, but the writing of it was off. So they adjusted the wording, and that's what we have to vote on to make it so that it matches what was agreed upon, correct, Gina? In a really roundabout sort of way?
Yeah. On your memo on the cover sheet, Bob.
It explains it.
The resolution itself needed to be corrected. The days that were reported
Right,
were correct, and it's because the
Right.
logs come in from officials 3 months after
right,
you've actually taken office, so then adjustments have to be made.
okay.
So the days were reported correctly, but the days for the month on the resolution needed a slight tweak,
And that's what this is?
and that's what this.
Okay. I make that motion.
Okay, this is for the 09 to 13. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Charlie Murphy, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. I need a motion for the second resolution, and that is for 13 to present?
13.
13 to present. I have a motion from trustee Farina, second by trustee Murphy. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I need a motion to authorize me to sign the registration form for the New York State Grants Gateway delegating authorized administrators. Any questions on that? No?
No.
Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Anthony, second by Bob. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I need a motion to approve part-time dispatcher Joseph Drexler at a rate of $13.25 an hour.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And addition to the new business, treasurer went down for the full classes for the village. I'm asking for an approval for the New York State Association of Towns and Villages for our treasurer for the annual school, not to exceed $200 for February 17th. That's for reimbursement of transportation and meals, not to exceed 200. If you want to table that, I have no problem. If you have any questions, because he's not here right now. He'll be here tomorrow for the budget workshop. Do you want to table?
Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay, we'll table that. I need approval for the bills and claims.
Can I get a motion on the table?
We don't need one, actually. I checked with Nikon. When you table, you just table. I need a motion for bills and claims for the year 13-14 for for $72,722.90.
I'll move it.
I have a motion by Charlie Murphy, second by Anthony. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Public comment? No? Nobody?
Yeah.
I have one here.
Oh, then, get crazy, get excited.
How you doing, evening, Bird Ludson Junior, Howland Falls. I know a couple weeks ago you had this survey put in the paper. What's your opinion? I was just wondering, who did the survey? Is this among the village board together?
I was going to address that in the board comments. I'm glad you brought it up.
Okay.
Yeah, I was the principal author of it, and the response has been really good. And as a public service, the newspaper volunteered to run it in 2 issues. First one has come out,
Right.
and I spoke to Joe Gill, because of the snow, it didn't appear in last week's paper. So we're extending the deadline to the 28th. In order to get it in this week's paper, so more people can respond to it.
Okay.
But it really has been very interesting because the response has been good from both village and town citizens. And what I found really heartening was a number of people have checked village and town and noted that if you're a resident of the village, you're a resident of the town. So there's been a real spirit of cooperation reflected in these surveys.
Okay, that's good. I know a few meetings back now, we spoke about, this is maybe gonna be put on polls, and it would be a vote on it during the election. We were thinking about it, and you said, no, that would be only village residents only. And I actually mentioned that, hey, I think maybe the town should take part in this.
And the process itself, as a board,
Right.
we cannot put it on the ballot unless we have a full plan
Okay.
done. Residents can do a permissive referendum and get it on the ballot and then force the municipalities to do a plan, but then it's gotta go back for a second referendum.
Okay, so my point in that though, is you have town and village on here. So how is that gonna outcome if it is brought to a vote? If you have town residents sending in their input, when are they going to be able to?
We're not gonna vote this election on it. We're not. Mainly because what's more important is the education of consolidation. The problem is, the last time it was discussed, 2 words were thrown out: consolidation and dissolution. 2 very different things. And the problem is that a lot of people in the community that don't know what consolidation and dissolution are, fear when someone will say, they're gonna fire everybody, everyone's getting fired. No, firing everyone, firing anyone is not the way to consolidate properly. And we've already met with the state and talked to them, and when we met with the town, that was one of the first discussions and the main discussion, is 0 loss of employees.
Okay.
But that's exactly why we're not putting it on the ballot, because we feel that we need to educate the public as to what consolidation is, what our goals are, what we feel the benefits are. If I see no downside. Some people bring up certain downsides. I can get them to people that say that's not true or that isn't. Charlie brought up one of the biggest upsides. If we do full consolidation, the program that's available now in the state is and with the numbers that she did, this community will get $1.3 million additional.
Is that a fact?
That's a fact.
That's a fact?
From the state.
It's
Okay.
15%
So
of the
that's a
town and
fact,
village
if we
tax
do this,
levy.
you're saying that's a fact.
But that's for the full consolidation. We're
Right.
Full
far, far away
consolidation.
from.
Okay.
And we are. We're
But you
not
don't have that
consolidating
in here.
tomorrow.
Yeah, that is there.
For full consolidation, it's a fact that's what we'll get.
Those
It
are the
doesn't
numbers,
necessarily
those are the
agree
numbers that
with
we're
that.
working with right now. If the numbers change,
Okay.
those are the numbers right today. If we consolidate in 4 to 5 years,
Right.
the number will be different. It's
Okay.
15% of the town and village's tax levy prior to the consolidation.
Okay, so on the 21st, it's going to be extended to the 28th. So the results of this is going to just give us a heads up where we are.
Yeah, this is
Basically.
just a baseline
Okay.
about how people are.
I don't think many people know that, so that's a good
Yeah.
thing to put out there. Okay.
And the other thing, that portion of the opinion poll, I thought people would be clamoring for
Right.
the money, and that actually is not the case. It's the
Right.
second one about efficiency and stabilization over
Mhm.
time.
Because, I mean, you have some things on here, and I respect the fact that you're saying now that this isn't gonna happen right away, because when you read through this, I don't know how many people have read through this, but I've read through it, and being a former councilman, it's not as easy as it looks here at all.
It's not easy at all.
Okay, this sort of looks like, wow, check, 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 put my name on there, sounds good, put it in the mailbox, and I'm good to go. It's not at all like that. Basically, I need to see the homework first, before I do any of this.
You literally cannot put it on the ballot until you have the full plan.
Okay, good.
And as far as the homework, that's what we're gonna make available to any
Okay, good.
resident who's interested,
Mhm.
and that's what we're putting together now.
Yeah,
We're putting together all the numbers of full consolidation, the benefits,
but,
and utilizing the surveys.
mhm.
The survey is just the beginning, it's the tip.
No, I understand
It's not,
that.
it's not,
Yeah.
okay, we did a survey, now we're clear, we can do whatever we want.
Right,
No, it's to get people excited about it, whether it's one way or the other. If this community decides they don't wanna consolidate, I'm not here for me, I'm here to represent the community as well as the rest of the board. If the community comes back and says, we don't wanna consolidate, after getting the information of why this board feels consolidation is the way to push this whole community forward, if our community doesn't feel like it, and just so you understand, that is the village. When there is a vote for a consolidated solution, it's the village. I want to include the entire town on the process
right.
and get everyone informed and everything else, but the actual final decision is a village vote. So it's not, it's a process, and that's not from us,
But
that's
just,
state.
I respect what you're saying, but just for myself, after being on the board, researching consolidation, when we were going through the police department, and we were going through that, I understand what you have here, but after the homework is put out there to the community, hey, listen, we researched it, and these are the facts now, this is the facts of what we have, then you ought to do another survey.
Oh,
And say,
yeah.
how do you feel about it now?
It-
Because this is really, it sounds good, but, and I hope to God, in some way or another, consolidation works to benefit every resident. But I think there should be another one out there saying, okay, this is it now, this is what we're gonna have, because,
That's why I'm emphasizing the
Okay.
word in there, baseline.
Right.
It's, you know, the starting point,
right,
and there's a long way to go.
okay.
Even just the highway and DPW, that's gotta be
That's,
properly planned for.
absolutely, there's so much in that right now, you'll have a book this thick by the time you're done. I appreciate it, thank you.
Go ahead.
Any other comments?
Sandy Capriglione. Actually, you had answered part of the question that I had on the senior center, but when you said the numbers are high, what are the numbers?
Tentatively, they would come in, Jimmy was talking about $250,000 for a total remodel. But total remodel is not something we have in our budget.
Well, right now, there's no budget, right?
There isn't.
There is actually.
Oh, there
When
is?
did-
Well-
When did you have a budget?
Well, their budget meaning that we have an account, and we have money in the account.
Oh,
We had $500 put in by the I Don't Know
I don't
program.
okay, my apologies.
We have, there's money in the account, and the account's open. For anyone else who wants to donate, it's there.
But no, when I had asked you last meeting if you, or 2 meetings ago, excuse me, if you had any money in the budget, you said no, there was nothing budgeted.
Budgeted.
Right.
There's nothing budgeted, there's money in the
So
account.
that's what I was asking.
My apologies, but no, there's, budget time is coming up, and we'll be talking about that'll be on the table. Plan B, we're talking about is trying to attach a dollar figure to a Plan B to use the building rather than.
Well, that's what I was gonna ask too, has there been any kind of analysis for an operating cost?
Yes, well, we're going over it now. I'm talking with Jimmy Tito's been good enough to spend some time with me down there and go over it, and we're gonna come up with something that we feel will make it safe and inhabitable.
Okay. Because I've been going over all the minutes for the last few years, and Mayor Flynn, I think you were on the board at the time, back in May of 2012, Mayor D'Onofrio, or then Mayor D'Onofrio, said that, there was a community development rehabilitation grant, that there was 69,000 and change left over from that, and there was a resolution, to use that, which it was voted on unanimously, to use that for public facilities, infrastructure, and public services within the target area in the village. Then in June, the board appropriated $24,155 to buy recreation equipment for the Center Street Park and installation of that out of that, which left a balance of $45,439. I couldn't find any place else in the minutes where that money was used. Is that money still available?
That's a great question. I believe Mayor D'Onofrio appropriated most of that money.
whole
But I
board.
will have our treasurer look into that and have an answer for you.
Okay, because, just to let you know, I mean, I read through the minutes 3 times from that point to present, and the only other mention was that the mayor asked for permission to hire an arborist to research trees to be planted on Main Street, and the board voted okay for that. There was no cost associated with it. And then there's nothing else going forward as far as the arborist or the trees. So I was going to ask if it's available, if the 45,000 is available, could that be used towards the senior center? Because that would take a big bite out of what you need, at least to get it open.
As long as we can pay our bills, keep the heat going and meet our contract that, we
What-
have contracts that are coming up that we have money have to set money aside. We can pay our bills for, yeah.
What we'll
But
do is,
this was, maybe I don't
rather than
understand
us
what
get
you're
into,
saying.
rather than get into possibilities and we're not sure and we heard this, let me have Ed research it, and
Okay.
we should have an answer for you by the next meeting.
Okay, but this is,
Okay.
just so you don't have to go through the minutes, those are the minutes, the dates. Thank you.
Thank you.
No problem. Any other public comment?
Hi, Jim DeSalvo, 29 Villa Parkway. I just wanted to come and inform the board that I heard from the DA's office, Mr. David Hoover, that the Village of Highland Falls was one of several communities that received a small grant to the Highland Falls Police Department for approximately $4,115 for the police department to buy equipment for recording. I would assume, Mr. Detective, that would be for like interviews and stuff like that for witnesses.
We actually have a room set aside for that,
Right.
and that would be a great welcome asset.
Yeah, so I got that email today, just wanted to stop by, say hello, and give that information to the board. Also on that grant money real quick, it's actually a grant, it was grant dollars, and you can only use it in a certain section of town. So I believe it was from Mountain, and Kenny, you probably know, you can correct me, it was between Mountain and I think Cousins was the target area. Now, some of that money went for the Center Street Park, and some of it also went to offset costs of some of the video cameras we have, including video cameras and I believe the TV equipment that we use. And those cameras were between $10,000 and $12,000 a pop. So it came down, and I think there was a few thousand left, and that's where it came into the previous mayor asking for an arborist to put trees up on Main Street. So that may help your treasure hunt.
Thank you.
Any other comment? Board comment? Charlie?
I think I covered it.
Good to go. Anthony?
I'm good.
Yeah? Okay. In closing, again, thank you everyone for coming out. I didn't get a chance to give a review of our paper. So critical for communication, one of the few avenues of communication, as well as Channel 23. So please, if you're looking for the information, it's looking good? Yes! Camera's back up and running. Kevin's excited. I like it. Please make sure that, to be informed of what's going on, and the best way to do that is our local paper. And the website, for those that are looking to go back and check the meetings, they're all online and available on www.highlandfallsny.org. So if you're looking for that, again, it's a way to stay informed. Again, Jim, thank you. Tom, thank you. Thank you for coming, and we really appreciate it. At this time, I need a motion to go into executive session for contractual matters. Motion by Bob, second by Charlie. All those in favor? Approved, thank you very much once again.